All right, we're back. Went on vacation, took a little break from the channel, had to recollect my ideas and kind of think to myself, what's the next step for this channel? What things do I want to talk about? That sort of thing, soul searching, shit that a lot of people may do on the daily. I don't know, but I'm trying to condense my ideas in my videos to where I can get to the point a little bit quicker because I know in the past some of my videos are kind of long. And when I look at them, I'm like, maybe I should get to the point. So, anywho, to jump into this video, the reason I felt inspired to sit down, set up my camera, and talk about is just something that makes me very annoyed to borderline just disappointed in people about. And it's the concept of like courtesy and like being, I don't know, kind or whatever. Because I was talking with a girl or two around my birthday. Let's just say one here. And like, I'm not the guy that's going to be like up in arms if no one's interested in me or whatever. Like, I accept it as it is. Kind of stoic mindset. Like, it's out of my control, right? They didn't rock with me. It is what it is, kind of thing. But I don't like when people are not doing the kind thing to you and telling the truth instead of just selling you a dream and then leaving you on red. That that annoys me to no end. Okay? Not even just that, but I think it's a good starting point to where you can kind of zoom out as a society. It's like, why do we struggle to tell the truth? Like, that was instilled into me when I was growing up from my dad. And it blows my mind, right? Because in one way or another, you've reversed the roles. If I sat down and I told you something that wasn't really truthful or a white lie just to let you down easier, in my opinion, I'm like totally disrespecting you. Because one, I'm assuming you can't handle the truth or whatever of the context I'm about to say to you. So I think of just altering the truth is going to let you off easier. Or I'm like insulting your intelligence. Something along the lines of that. Because for my story, I was talking with someone and I try to be more intentional when I want to get to know someone. I'm not going to beat around the bush. Life's too short. Yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. Right? And sat down talking with this girl and we met somewhere, or not met. I've seen her before one time at a couple months ago, and we met at this friend's gathering and kind of chatted a little bit, blah blah blah. Seemed nice, and I've seen this in the past too with other people, so it's not just this one person, but and there was another person too. I think I've seen this behavior in like a 3 day span. So I'm like, what the hell? When did this become the norm? Like, why do people think this behavior is acceptable? So something along the lines of like, oh, that's cool. We were chatting. I'm like, oh, we were talking about something like a topic, and I was like, oh, send me a photo later about like this thing that was related to her family, and she's like, oh yeah, totally will, or something along the lines of that. A day passes, nothing happens. I follow up, and instead of just reiterating it, I was like, hey, it was nice talking with you yesterday. Like, here's my number. It was nice getting to know you. I'd like to get to know you more. By the way, feel free to send that photo along that we discussed yesterday. Like, oh, and I'm not gonna be super needy and follow up like, God forbid, 3 times in a row, like some pathetic desperate man. There's already plenty of them out there. There's a lot of losers out there, and it gets worse and worse with simping and Twitch and online communities and online dating. And oh my God, it's just getting worse the more I think about it. So for this in person thing, I was like, okay, I gave the number. I thought I made my intentions clear, whatever. And leaves me unread. Awesome. That feels great. Love that. Totally would do that to another person and just leave them out to dry. Hell no, man. Like, people need to realize that not everyone's dumb or should be avoided of like just be honest and have some integrity and be like, yeah, you know what? Thanks for this. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day, but I'm not interested. Simple as that. And I don't like the excuse of, I remember hearing some girls like, well, some guys in the past would get super angry and da 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 with me. So the alternative is just to avoid it for like other people out there that's not going to be like an unhinged weirdo and complain about what's going on and being a little baby about it. Guess if you don't really fit that criteria, you get treated the same as someone who would like lose their shit if they get rejected, basically. Because there's a stereotype out there that guys can't handle rejection well, which is kind of funny because if you think about it, for a guy to be really successful in dating, you have to come to terms that rejection is part of it. Because if you don't, you're going to be single forever because you're a dude. And as a dude, you got to go out there and make shit happen, especially with women, because you're not going to just have one walk up to you and be like, oh, I'm so interested in you. That's not going to happen. That's a unicorn. That doesn't exist. And been talking with one of my friends, Tyler, and I love the conversations we have that inspire some of these videos. So shout out to you if you're watching this or listening. But for other people out there, it's like, why? I know people have dealt with this. And I'm not even saying girls don't deal with this, because guys, they'll probably do this behavior too. But I swear I see this more in women. And it just blows my mind, because why not just say things that you mean and don't lead someone up astray to like thinking something's coming? And I don't want to come off as entitled. I'm like, wow, you said this, so you better deliver. But it's more so that, like, why go with those words if you weren't really going to follow through with them? Some food for thought there, because, like, another person I was talking to, they're like, oh, I'm on vacation, da-da-da. I'll get back to you and elaborate a little bit more on it. Never did. Day or two passes. No voice message, no message, anything, just left it on red. Why even say that? There's no way I'm going to tell someone and be like, hey, bro, let me follow up with this message and I'll send it your way. Just give me an hour. And then I ghost. Okay, one, my word means nothing. And if your word doesn't mean nothing, especially as a dude, like, you're cooked. You are so cooked, it is not even funny. People are not going to respect you, men or women, especially men. Like, at least in my friend group and the people I talked with, like, the second you don't follow through with your word, I look at you so differently, it's not even funny. You are not as high of a priority if you don't follow through with the things you say. And if this was removed in dating, or if women would just realize, like, this is not helping anybody out there, like, at all. It's just a net negative on dating. Maybe we would come to a better place in society and maybe have a little more common ground to, connect better, which is at the end of the day, we all want to do, is connect better. And today people are having way more trouble connecting. And maybe I'm just a statistic of it. And that's why I'm sitting down here talking about it, because this is getting ridiculous. I'm in disbelief half the time. I was utterly stunned. I'm like, I just turned 27. I don't want to keep dealing with this. What is this? Like, we're 18 to 22, 3? Like, this is like some college, high school crap. Tell it as it is. Tell the truth. And maybe, just maybe, we can get 1% better out there in the dating world or connecting with people in general. So that's my thoughts on that. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.